My guest in studio tonight is internationally acclaimed astrologer, palmist, numerologist, and Vastu and Feng Shui expert Mahesh. Judging by the telephone lines that lit up when he came in, there's a lot of interest in Mahesh. As I mentioned, we're not doing call-ins tonight, so sorry to disappoint you. MG Fortune Teller is here tomorrow. Tonight's ready to get closer to Mahesh, to share his story with you, his journey to South Africa, his journey back to India, his interaction with the stars, and of course the gift that he has. And we'll talk about Vastu and Feng Shui. Now, Mahesh offers annual predictions for South Africa and the rest of the world, and is well known for his accurate predictions of natural disasters, such as earthquakes and tsunamis. I know this firsthand. He was here about 3 months ago, and he was talking about storms and natural disasters. And literally a month later, it was the 10th of October, it was a Tuesday, it was a huge storm. And it went through the back of my mind. I said, this Mahesh guy, I think he could be the real deal. So he's on air with me tonight. He's an astrologer to several of India's politicians and Bollywood stars. Some names like, and how many others?
Mr. Alan Khan.
Okay.
Forget this.
Well, listen, Mahesh, welcome back to Lotus FM. Nice to have you in studio.
Namaste. Thank you very much, Mr. Khan and Mr. Enrico, for inviting me here once again, the popular show.
You know what I admire about you, apart from your popularity and your success? You are firstly very humble, secondly very approachable, and third, you always travel with your beautiful wife.
Thank you so much.
Don't you want to say something sweet to your wife to start off the show?
She's my best friend and very amazing person.
So you've got a gift, right? We spoke, really touched on this when you were here 3 months ago, that your understanding of astrology, the way that you can look at the stars and then translate that into a reading specifically for someone. This is something that not anyone, I mean, Enrico and I can't just say tomorrow we're astrologers. You have to have some type of gift and understanding. At what age did you first become interested in astrology?
Okay. When I was 9 or 10 years old, I told my classmate, you won't write exams this year.
And where was this? In India?
In India.
Okay.
And just before the exams, he fractured his leg and couldn't write the exams.
So hang on, you told your classmate when you're about 9 or 10, you're not going to write exams this year.
And this happened.
Wow.
Like this, there were many incidents. Then my mother realized that I am very intuitive. So she encouraged me to study astrology. As a teenager, I took astrology as a hobby. Thereafter, it became my passion. Then I studied palmistry, Vastu, Feng Shui, numerology, yoga, meditation, Ayurveda, nature cure, and spiritual science. I was blessed to meet many gurus, great souls, and their blessings are with me. Also, being born into a spiritual family have added inspiration to my career.
So where in India do you call home?
I'm from Jaipur,
Beautiful part of the world.
Pink City.
And you spent your young years in Jaipur. Obviously, you're now living in Durban. You call South Africa also your home. What inspired the move to the Southern Hemisphere and especially here to South Africa?
Very interesting story. 15 years ago,
Yeah.
my guru told me the letter S is very lucky for me and I will settle in a country starting with the letter S. I was so happy thinking I'm going to Switzerland.
Classic, right.
After a few months, I met a great-hearted gentleman from South Africa who invited me here. On my journey to South Africa, I expected to find people living in huts and wildlife on the roads, etc. because it was portrayed in TV in India.
So that's the perception you had of the country.
Yeah, and it was not, South Africa was not so much exposed in Bollywoods and
So you
etc.
thought you'd see lions on the street and...
Yeah.
Okay.
So I carried all food stops from India and I was little bit distressed. Okay, I'm going there.
What do you mean food?
Food stuffs,
Okay, so you brought your own food with you.
chips, breakfast, water bottles, everything.
You thought there's no food and water here in South Africa.
Yeah.
So what year was this?
15 years ago, it was in 2003,
Right.
2002.
This is after we won the Rugby World Cup in 1995. We've been experiencing lots of good things. We had the Cricket World Cup in 2003. But interesting, the perception that you had, lions in the street, no food, water.
Not only me, all Indians that time.
Wow.
And As soon as I landed in Durban,
Yeah.
I was amazed to see that actually I felt first word, one of the best cities in the world. People are so warm, hearted, innocent and kind. Then the second letter, S, Sunday Tribune, I started writing my column. My service, then third letter S, I met Sanjay Dutt and he became a client and thereafter a family friend. This opened my services to other actors and people in the Bollywood industry. Lastly, I met my wife and her name starts with letter S and she's my best friend. So these are 4 S's that plays important in my life. So my guru told me like letter S, letter this. So these are the things that astrology and numerology. So the letter S really plays very important role in my life.
So is your phone an iPhone 7S?
7S is my wife one. Now I took a 7-8.
No, you should stick with a 7 because 7 is your number, S is your alphabet.
My home number is 7. I got the ID on 7. Everything is on 7. Something I want change now.
Our show started at 7.
That's true.
Remarkable, you know. So, why Durban though? If you made South Africa a destination, why Durban, not Cape Town, Johannesburg?
The gentleman was from Durban, so I have to land it here.
So destiny brought you here.
That is true.
And 15 years later, you still call Durban your home, but you travel a lot, right?
Yeah. 9 months I'm in Durban, 3 months I traveled.
And you don't just travel for a holiday because you also travel for work. You go and consult and you meet clients, and not just in India, but in Dubai and in other parts of the world.
Yeah, Dubai, Canada, some Australia, other parts.
So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to ask you just to give us some insight in some of these big names that you meet, and obviously not share the intimate details that is personal to them, but all of that and more is coming up at 7:32. It's Tuesday Showcase. This is Lotus FM. My studio guest tonight is Mahesh Feng, astrologer to the stars, and we're going to be focusing on astrology. I'm also going to ask him about Feng Shui and Vastu and some of the other techniques that he uses just to improve the quality of life for so many people, not just in our country, but in India, Canada, Dubai, and in other parts of the world. So when you were a kid and you had this gift and your mum recognized this, you started studying astrology and many other things. How long does it take one to study astrology? Is it something you can do in a year, 10 years? And at what point do you say, now I'm an astrologer?
See, learning is a continuous process. I had intense study of 10 years of astrology and its associated science. Except the Almighty, in this era, no one can become the master of astrology.
So there's no master of astrology.
Except God, no one can be.
It's an interesting point.
It's a learning, it's
Right.
a continuous process to learn, update, upgrade, always.
The stars are constantly changing, right? I mean, the
Stars are not changing, but the interpretation, like 100 years ago, if you say somebody, you have to sleep 8 o'clock, get up 4 o'clock, it was understood. It's a nice thing.
right.
Today, if I go to your home and somebody says, or your wife, ma'am says, you know, Mr. Khan is sleeping at 8 o'clock. And second day also go, then he's sleeping, then people will think something is wrong with him. So same thing, that time it was good, now it become bad.
But the night sky changes, right? I mean, the way the sky looks now, 1,000 years ago, it was different. The way it's going to look 5,000 years, the stars will be different. I mean, is the galaxies not moving, the physical stars not moving around?
See, the solar system and the 9 planets, their effect will be the same.
Okay.
There is a 10th planet also. There is 11th planet, people just discover now. But their revolving speed around the sun is so slow, their effect comes on Earth, it will take 500 years. So it will affect the snakes and tortoise, not us.
So Western astrology, there is a difference between Western and Eastern astrology?
Yeah, definitely.
They also call Eastern astrology, I think, Vedic astrology, right?
Yeah, Vedic astrology, Eastern astrology, Indian astrology.
So what's the major difference between all of this? So can you just explain Western astrology and Vedic astrology?
Vedic astrology is based on the moon sign, and the Western astrology is based on sun sign. The planet moon changes its zodiac sign after every 2.25 days. So that's why Indian zodiac sign changes after every 2.25 days, whereas the sun sign changes after almost a month. So in common terms, you may fall in Western astrology into a certain sign, but in Vedic astrology, this will be a completely different sign, and it is called Rashi. Western astrology gives importance to sun sign, where Indian astrology focuses more on moon sign. They focus on sun more, we focus on moon more.
Okay.
Western astrology generally looks at your sun sign and gives general predictions which are common to million people. Example, if your sun sign is Pisces, the general prediction given by a Western astrologer or given in a magazine, newspaper applies to all people under the sky whose sun sign is Pisces. On the other hand, Indian astrology looks for your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, which is unique in this and is specific and so varies from person to person.
So it's individualized, it's
Yeah.
unique to you.
Yes, this is the reason why all Hindu festivals except Makar Sankranti do not occur on fixed date.
Okay, it's interesting. Astrology, if you're an astrologer, does it require psychic ability?
Yes, definitely. But this comes in after one has done the scientific astrological calculations. Also, they have to do lot of meditation of their favorite god deity so that their ability to predict become more powerful.
The ability to predict becomes more powerful. So you need to know astrology first and then hope you're psychic?
Yes.
Or should you be a psychic and then learn astrology?
Astrology, then psychic.
And what if you just can't pick up the psychicness?
You see, we all have a inbuilt quality to be psychic. Like if you are doing business, sometime your gut feeling will tell, I must do this, I
Your
must
intuition.
not do intuition. But the astrology, you must have some base. Intuition can go wrong anytime. So you must have some scientific base. Then psychic ability is top of the,
So would you say astrology is more based in science or in religion?
Astrology, as I told you, astrology is a science, but it is interlinked with Hinduism, with religion.
So could someone benefit from an astrology reading if they're not religious or not spiritually inclined?
That is true because the main base of astrology is what you sow, so shall you reap. So do good deeds, do karma. There is only one God and one religion called humanity. So it doesn't need any religion, any organization. It will tell you, yes, you did some good karma. So now that this planet is ruling, now you will get reward of it. So maximize this event.
So I'm interested to find out. So when you see a client, so like when your wife and your mum-in-law to be came to see you, you ask for specific things, right? Before you do the reading.
Yes.
You want to know their name.
Their date of birth, time of birth, place of birth.
And if you can't get a time of birth, would you still be able to?
Then I have to think more and more one grey hair.
So if I had to ask you, a lady by the name of Nkosazana Clarice, born on the 27th of January 1949. That's the date. What would you tell me if I had to give you the date? 27th of January 1949. I just don't have a time.
Yeah, no problem. But just now you told me today we are not opening any line for anyone.
No, this is my line. So I'm going to give you that date. Would you be able to give me something on that? Or would you have to spend some time thinking? Because there's no time.
I have to think.
All right.
So, yeah.
So would you be able to answer my questions and think at the same time? Or do we need to pause and let you think? What makes you more comfortable?
We can make a pause and then I'll think. Give me
Okay.
2 minutes.
All right. No. 2 minutes we can't afford. We can pause like for 2 seconds. All right. I tell you what, we'll have to delay that because we're having a conversation and we've already played our song. And I should have mentioned this to you before we got on here because I was going to throw Nkosazana Clarice at you. Throw her name and date of birth, and also a second one, Matamela Cyril, 17th November 1952. But be that as it may, we can continue the conversation right now because I'm really interested in your responses regarding astrology, science, religion, psychic ability. And then you mentioned the planets, right? The sun, the moon. How do these all influence our lives? I mean, it's our solar system. We know, the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. These are all fixed things that will be here in our lifetime and past our lifetime. So how do they affect our lives?
As we know, our body is made of more than 75% of water,
Right.
and the earth is also made up of more than 75% of water. According to Vedic astrology, the moon controls one's mind, emotions, and water bodies. On full moon, if you notice, high tides occur. It's a well-known fact. On a full moon, psychiatric patient shows more abnormal activities, behavior. People become more moody, aggressive, and hyper, as there is a pull caused by the moon. If in your horoscope the moon is very weak, you would get these type of negative reactions. However, if it is well placed and powerful in your birth chart, then you experience peace, tranquility, happiness, and feel more romantic. So for an example I gave, so in same way the planet Sun, Mars, Venus, other planets also influence human beings.
So, and that's individualized, that's per person, right?
Yes. It depends on your horoscope. If the moon is in a very strong position, very happy position.
So my birthday, December 17, 1971, there are other people born same day, same year, and possibly on the planet there may be 20 other babies born at the same time. Do we all share a similar horoscope there?
No. This is a unique thing in Vedic astrology. Even the twins cannot share the same destiny, because within 2 minutes of time, there is some methods in Vedic astrology, horary and everything, so it makes a difference, their predictions.
So even twins do
Can-
not share the same destiny. Now, at what point did you realize, you want to make a career out of this? You studied it, your mum recognized you had the gift, you warned your friend when you were 9 or 10 he stopped writing exams. So clearly you had the gift. At what point did you say, I can make a career out of this gift?
Part-time I started as when I was a teenager, but full-fledged career I started 21, and after 25, by God's grace, I never looked back.
So you get to mix with celebrities here in South Africa and in India and in Dubai. You mentioned Sanjay Dutt is not just a client but a friend. How did you meet Sanjay?
One of my client, he is a very good friend to Sanjay Bhai.
Right.
So he introduced me in 2003 to Sanjay Bhai, and he was in that court case, and it was the judgment has to come like within 2-3 days or within a week, final judgment. I saw his palm and his planets. Then I told him, I don't think that this case will come. It will hang over for a decade. I said that line. He didn't say any word and utter. Within 2 minutes, our meeting was finished, closed. I went after 6 months. Mahesh ji, where are you? Like, I'm in Durban.
So he called you.
He called me. I'm Sanjay Dutt. Sanjay Bhai. Then, Mahesh ji, you were too right. The judgment, everything was there. So it just continues for that. So that's the reason.
And then he introduced you to others within his circle.
When you go there, yeah, that is true. And when you go there, sometimes there he does Mother's Durga's prayer, some Diwali functions and marriage anniversary party. So I meet lot of people, and he also introduced me. So that's why it's gone.
So Shah Rukh Khan, one of the biggest names in the industry, not just in India but around the world, highly successful, very talented young man. How did you get to meet him?
In his party.
Sanjay's party?
Yeah. They all are linked together.
And someone Khan similar?
Similar.
What's it like interacting with these guys? I mean, when you meet them, are they big stars to you or are they just regular people?
15 years ago, it was very excited. You meet somebody and you get nervous, talk and this. Now I was with Sanjay Bhai, Sonu Nigam in Dubai for 1 week. They bought a flat there. So I did a Vastu there. So now if you meet them, they are just like a normal to us, like a normal human being. Just make fun, they talk, they sit, everything like that. And believe me, only the few people you take it out, more you're richer, more people are humble. I was in Dubai last week, and one person next to me, he's such a rich person and she's so humble. So I told, no, he's so humble, that's why he's so rich.
So you're basically saying the richer you are, the more humility you have.
More you are humble, more richness will come.
So if you are humble, you will become rich monetary value.
I'm talking richness with everything. Money, with richness with your good health, with good family, with your parents, with children, with good name, good deeds, good job.
Gandhiji once said the biggest sign of greatness is humility.
True. Kindness, gratitude, and having good intention is the main source of everything.
You're judged by your actions and your intentions, right?
True.
So you're saying with all these multimillionaires, massive celebrities you're meeting, you see the humility in them. That's a common trait that they have.
That is true. If you ask me, more people are successful, they are more humble. I'm thinking because they also don't know how they become so successful, that they believe in destiny so much.
Do you think we as mankind, as humanity, we sometimes, when you say the word richness, we tend to default in thinking monetary value?
No,
And as you just explained, you can still not be rich in rands, rupees, and dollars, but you could be rich in so many other aspects.
Yeah, you can be rich in your comforts, you're rich with good health, rich in your good thoughts, rich with good friends, rich with having a smile on your face every day. You can go on holidays every year. You
Loving
can drive
family.
loving family. You have a okay house, okay car. Your everybody loves you. Everybody likes you. You can do something, serve humanity. The richness comes in a different form, but it's very sad nowadays. People use the word richness only for money.
So if you take that look on life, why is it the world still is full of egotistical, arrogant, bombastic, hateful, nasty, corrupt, violent people? Why do we have such a proliferation of negativity, not just around South Africa, but around the world? There's war and hate and so many things that are holding us back as humanity.
Spiritually, if you ask, we are made of false ego.
We are made of false ego.
We have like a ethnic body,
Right.
soul, intellectual, and false ego. So now due to it's a Kali Yuga. You can say it's like the age is going so downhill, and due to the astrological things also, the world has gone down. But the best part of this world, if you do little bit chanting, take the God's name, help others, you can lift and you can go back to Godhead. That's the main purpose of life, salvation according to Hinduism. So there is still a light in this world. There are a lot of people are good in this world. A lot of people are still very, very good.
I like to believe that good will always beat evil, right? I mean, and that's... Do you think I'm being romantic in my belief, or is it something that we must hold on to, that goodness will always prevail?
That is always 100%. That's the main philosophy of all the religion, and it always happen, and it is going to happen.
So you mentioned Vastu earlier on. What is that?
Vastu is an ancient architectural science that help us to live in a perfect harmony with nature.
Architectural science that allows us to live in perfect harmony with nature.
Yeah.
So you went to this rich person in Dubai, and they bought a new house. You're mentioning, or new apartment,
Yeah.
and you went and
Get the energy. I have to check the energy.
Right.
They bought office and everything, so they just want to check the aura of that area, so it can be beautified and they can have more success and more prosperity, and they can have more peace.
So, how would you define Vastu in terms of what you actually do?
See, before I define, I just give you briefly about Vastu.
Okay.
There are 5 major elements present in the universe, and same 5 major elements also present in us: the earth, the water, the air, the fire, the sky. So what Vastu does, Vastu tells you to take maximum benefits from these elements: the water energy, fire energy, the gravitational force, magnetic force, and use them in a correct way, so you have more prosperity. That is called Vastu. Like why the sun rises from the east? Why the sun doesn't rise from the west?
Because the earth spins in a particular direction, right?
Must be. Yeah, that is true. But why sun east? So we have to follow the east direction. So if you think the earth is still towards 23 and a half on the northeast direction, Because of this, they say according to Vastu, if you pray and facing northeast direction, your prayer will answer quickly. Or you can say, in other words, you will have more tranquility and peace in your mind, body, and soul. And if you have peace, and if once you have peace, you will get direct connect to the Almighty.
So should our beds be facing northeast when you sleep, for example?
If you sleep, you must have your head while sleeping towards east direction or south direction.
Your head should face east or south.
South direction, because as we know, the magnetic force travels from north pole to south pole, and in the same way in our human beings we can say head represent north and the feet represent south, and we know north they repel. So it's a science. So if we sleep towards keeping our head towards south and the feet towards north, we will have a nice sleep. Or alternate way is east.
So you mentioned it's a science, and I was about to say it sounds very scientific. Where and when did Vastu originate?
It is in our, there are 4 Vedas. This is originated in the Rig Veda.
Right.
And the first engineer architect is Vishkarmaji.
And when was this?
First time when the earth came on existence in heaven.
And the knowledge has been passed down?
Passed on from Rig Veda, coming down, it's just carrying on. Earlier the Vastu was meant only for kingdom and royal palace, because they want their kingdom to be as per Vastu, so their whole kingdom can flourish. Now the Vastu has come to the every common man.
So how did you learn Vastu?
Same, I met lot of gurus, then I read lot of books, and my grandfather, he lived 96 years old, and last 30 years he never took any medicine. Only last 6 months he took it before he died.
So what do you think was his secret to long life?
He get up at 4 o'clock, he eat his lunch before 12, walking 5-6 kilometers, he chant 5-6 hours. He has a very simple life, eating more raw food, fruits, salads, vegetables. He lived in a village.
Did he sleep with his head facing south?
Yes.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Vastu is also a part of Hinduism. Everything they just say they're facing, that.
So what are the benefits of Vastu? Someone's listening and they are intrigued tonight, and they may not have intimate knowledge about Vastu. What would be the benefits of Vastu in someone's home, office, in their lives?
See, Vastu is a more practical science. You have to be on that side to tell you what is wrong in that. Like for an example, I'll give you. When I was teenager, I got a call from Delhi for a Vastu visit for a small hotel.
Right.
I went there. I was 17, 18 years old that time. I went there. I saw whole building, whole hotel, and I know it was 100% built according to Vastu. I told them, according to Vastu, but I am feeling something, my gut feeling is telling something.
Built on Vastu principles.
Yeah, but something I still felt something is wrong. And the owner told me, the day when I opened the hotel, my mother is sick. She is having headaches, severe headaches, migraines. We went to so many doctors, no cure. Doctor says everything is fine, but our business is doing well. Then I told them, okay, I'll come tomorrow. They smiled in a different way. They smiled in a different way, like, okay, let's see. Then I went.
They didn't believe you'll come back, right?
Like, I'm a teenager. I was also a teenager. Okay, because lot of Vastu. Then I went second day after doing my meditation. Within half an hour, I said, what mistake they did it. Their hotel name was on their mother's, the owner's mother's name. They built the hotel name, and they had a doormat, and they put so and so hotel welcomes you.
They put the mother's name on the doormat.
Yes, see now
people are walking over the doormat.
And that's
They're
you got
walking
it.
over your mother.
That's got it. And second point, and her mother's name was very spiritual name. I told, take out the doormat. They took it out. Within 24 hours, she's feeling good, and within 7 days, she was fine. So that is called Vastu.
Wow.
So it depends on when you go there, then you feel it. Okay, what's wrong in it? I'll tell you, like some houses you go for like you have to sit for a longer time, but you come within 5-10 minutes time, something tells in your mind, okay, some energy is not right. This is called like soul. And some houses you just want to meet for 5 minutes, you sit for half an hour, 1 hour.
Is there a difference between Vastu and Feng Shui?
Feng Shui is another form of Vastu, but originated in the China.
Right.
It 5,000 years ago.
Not as old as Vastu.
Yes. But the aim is same, to help mankind so that we can live happy, healthy, wealthy, and a prosperous
You're
life.
a poet as well. You're coming up with things like the aim is same. You should add that to your CV. You're not just an astrologer, but you're a poet as well. The aim is same. So Vastu and Feng Shui believe in similar principles.
Then I can say same thing. Ki Vastu is a beautiful lady. Feng Shui is its ornament.
Ah, okay. So you're becoming quite creative. Would you say the benefits of Feng Shui are the same as Vastu, or is there a slight difference?
Feng Shui is more. If you live in a China, Feng Shui is more helpful to you, because in India the Vastu we use, because northeast we have a Himalaya, and China the northeast become their back. So the principles are differ each other, but the main thing is to help others. Like in Vastu, we keep Lord Ganesha on a main entrance door so that it will take your all negativity from your home. So they put in Feng Shui laughing Buddha. If you see Ganeshji and Buddha, they put on a entrance door, so take out your negativity.
So the principles are very similar.
Yeah, so what happened? The 25% what they beautify with Feng Shui is also a part of Vastu.
So I'm going to ask you in our remaining 3 minutes just to give me some basic Vastu or Feng Shui guidelines that we can apply in our homes and workspaces, just to add to the happiness, prosperity, and positive energy of our homes and workplaces. What could we do?
If you get a chance, first of all, try to sit more north or northeast side direction.
With your back or your face?
Face.
Your face north or northeast?
Northeast. Right. While praying, while doing education, while doing everything, you will get more energy. You will more connect to more cosmic energy.
So northeast.
Northeast.
Okay.
Second, if the husband is sleeping in a bed in a right side, wife must sleep on a left.
Well, makes sense, right? I mean, if I'm on the right, my wife's going to be on the left.
Left.
Okay.
So more coordination. You mustn't have a mirror in your bedroom. If you keep a mirror in such a position that the bed mustn't reflect in a mirror.
Why?
Otherwise, when you are in old age, whatever the part is reflecting in a mirror, it will get damaged.
So no mirror in the bedroom.
You can have mirror, but not to expose to your looking the bed.
Okay.
Second tips. Third tip, try to make your prayer room, altar place, or meditation room towards northeast part.
Face northeast.
Yeah, while doing prayer, and the altar, the prayer, the deities and everything in northeast.
Okay.
Most important, don't keep your medicines in your kitchen. Otherwise, you will eat the medicines like the food and you will never get cured.
So put the medicines away in another room.
Another room, like northwest area of the house.
So put the medicines in the northwest room.
That is called guest room.
Right.
That is called daughter's room. That's why that is called finished goods. When you're going in a factory, the energy of that area allow that things to go quickly. If your daughter is not getting married, if your guest is there, everybody loves guest for a short span of time.
So the illness must come and go. All right.
So that
I like
will
the
go.
analogy. Okay.
And according to Feng Shui, keep wind chimes in northwest part of the house. Laughing Buddha on your entrance door, facing the door. And you can have a Feng Shui fish ornament in your lounge, and you can have a tortoise ornament, but the head of the tortoise should face the north direction. It will give the prosperity. These are the basic Vastu and Feng Shui tips that can help you.
Phenomenal. I've learned so much tonight, Mahesh Feng. Before I let you go, Sudisha is standing by with the final news bulletin. That'll be up in the next couple of seconds. If I had to ask you for the secret of your success, what do you think that is? What's your secret ingredient?
I will definitely say it's my parents' blessings and the wonderful listeners, wonderful readers who read my column, wonderful people who comes to me, their blessings, their love, my grandparents' blessings, then my guru's blessings, then I keep learning all these sciences and everyone's
Your
blessings.
beautiful wife was in studio as well.
She's my best friend.
I like that. Mahesh Bang, thank you so much for being with us this evening. Thank you for spending the hour. You'll be back, hopefully, God willing, in March, where we'll open the lines, because you saw tonight there were lots of people who wanted to seek your advice this evening. And you wiggled out of giving me some information about Nkosazana, and so we just didn't have the time to dedicate for that. But thank you for being here, and may you have a blessed December, and we'll connect with you in March, God willing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khan and Mr. Enrico. Really enjoyed your show.
And that's our Tuesday showcase tonight. My thanks to Enrico Pillay, who produced tonight's show. If you want to connect with Mahesh Bang, I'm going to hand out a contact number, and it's in fact, go to Facebook, right? That's the best way to do it. Facebook.com, and you can just search for Mahesh Bang. But it's Bang. And that's the best way to connect with Mahesh, and you can then operate with him. Follow his posts. It's always positive and uplifting.